Meme stocks are memeing today. What's going on, guys? Hope that you guys are all having an amazing Friday. Just wanted to point this out for all those that are looking for something to watch. I'm not saying that this thing is worth shorting right now because it still has so much momentum. It went from actually red on the day to now being up over 11.6%. So as long as this thing remains bullish, there's no reason to short it. But if it begins to curl on over, huge pullback potential. It's up 11.6% on the day. If companies like Oklo, that again are complete BS companies. If you look into their business versus what they say or what they say they are versus what they look like versus what they actually are and what they actually look like, it's a complete gimmick, right? It's literally laughable. With that being said, the stock market doesn't care about that, especially not in 2025. Irrational markets support irrational valuations, but just wanted to highlight it. Huge pullback potential. This thing's up 10 to 11%. So something to look out for. Same thing with Irene. This thing was up 9, almost 10% on the day as it hit set highs of $70 per share and is now at least giving back half of what it is that it gained. With that being said, as long as it holds above around the moving average, it could still continue to recover and can still remain bullish. Be very careful with these, what I like to call meme stocks. They're overhyped up stocks. They're some of the best performing growth stocks of 2025. Look into the business. It's all BS. There's nothing real about them. It's all hype. It's all speculation. A bunch of them are pre-revenue. And again, they're all up about 1,000% in such a short period of time. And as soon as markets begin to sink back to reality, these are always going to be the ones that crash the hardest, 50 to maybe 80% of a potential pullback. But that doesn't mean that we have to get it today. The markets can stay irrational longer than we can stay solvent, so be careful. Make sure the big focus today is make sure that market direction and trend is in your favor, or at least that you're getting some form of criteria of a reversal before just taking a short just because you can. So the other thing when it comes down to the Nasdaq market, Nasdaq started off by making new all-time highs. We talked about that within our live trading session today. If you ever want to watch me trade live, second link in the description down below. But like we've seen many times this week, markets make new highs and then just quickly correct themselves because they know they don't belong there. They're just continuously pushing, trying to pump and I guess keep the market excited, stimulate the market. Yet the labor market is weakening. We have inflation going against the Fed's target, and we still don't have all these tariffs figured out. So I wouldn't view that as a strong economy. But of course, there's 5 to 10 big tech companies that have increased a lot in recent market cap valuation that is driving a lot of this buying pressure and insane valuation. So it's just something that we'll have to pay a little bit more close attention to. But like we've said many times, when in doubt, never be afraid to cash out. The only position that I have open right now is SQQQ. It's a super light position, and it's just because I really don't feel like trading these aggressive moving stocks today. So as markets begin to sell off, if they do, which they do not have to, but if markets do begin to pull on back, the more that they sell off, SQQQ does the opposite. SQQQ goes up 3 times whatever the Nasdaq market sells off. It's a triple leverage ETF. It's not an investment vehicle. It's not something that you should be carrying overnight. It gets rebalanced every single day. But again, if the Nasdaq market falls 1% today, SQQQ would go up 3%. So it's not as crazy or volatile as Oklo or Irene, but it's still, right? Still leveraged, still triple leveraged, and it's something to be aware of, right? So right now, what we're paying attention to is the overall Nasdaq market. Are we going to continue to hold at these levels? If so, it's in favor for the bulls or to stay cash as markets are overbought. But if we do break that support and begin to see some selling pressure, get ready for these meme stocks and these big tech companies to begin to curl on over, as again, markets are incredibly overbought and overvalued within the short period of time. And yet we still have a series of economic reports that are yet to be released. There's non-farm payrolls, unemployment report that was supposed to be released last week. It was then projected to be released this week, and now it got postponed once again. Remember, the market does not like uncertainty. It might try to pretend that it doesn't care for a short period of time, but eventually the reality will always come out. The Michigan Consumer Sentiment Report did come out, and it came in a little bit higher than what was expected. So not terrible, but just wanted to make sure that you were aware of it. And then next week, Spark's earnings. Not really big tech companies are set to report next week. That's going to be following, if I'm not mistaken, on the October 20th week where we begin to see more tech companies get implemented into these earning reports, such as Tesla. Tesla is the one that I'm most excited about because Tesla is about to report its last quarterly earnings where it had EV subsidies and EV credits. So the demand is going to be the highest and the credits are going to be the highest. After that, it's just the raw, actual Tesla business, which again, now it has no external motivators to boost demand. It has no government subsidies. It's going to be very excited to see how this tech giant tries to keep up while demand and revenue has already been declining. Very excited to see if Tesla ends up selling off at least 50% because we all know that Tesla is an overhyped up stock that does not belong to be at a $1.5 trillion market cap. So excited to follow up. I'll do my part in keeping you guys up to date. Remember that Monday is Christopher Columbus Day, if I'm not mistaken, but stock markets are open. It's the bond market, if I'm not mistaken, that is closed. So just make sure that, again, any position that you take today, if it was intended as a day trade, you keep it as that. You don't want to go into the weekend, especially holidays tend to be a little bit more of a slower moving day. So excited to follow up, excited to see you for our live trading session on Monday. Whenever you're ready to tune on in, second link down below. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a great note. Take care, team. Happy Friday.